Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Bad Lit Friends, the writing podcast that still barely knows what it's doing. I'm your host, Kirk Rafferty, and this is my co-host.
Hi, I'm Meagan Thompson-Mann. And this week we are, I think, finishing part 3 of
Yeah.
our series
Who
that was not supposed to be a series on the author industrial complex.
who knows if we finish it? We might just abandon it.
We've already put out 2. We're
Yeah,
we're we're committed now.
we
We
are.
should be committed, but we're gonna try to wrap this up with part 3. I do listen to some podcasts where they go in and they're like, "This is definitely gonna be part 3," and at the end of it, they go, "You know what? This is gonna be a 5-parter."
Yeah.
So,
That only means that we've arrived. We're like pros now.
we're s I have a very nice microphone right here. It doesn't always work, but
But it
it
is
looks
nice.
nice.
Yes.
It looks very
Yes.
nice. But last week we talked a little bit about serving readers while still driving the bus. We
Mm-hmm.
had a very long conversation about that.
Mm-hmm.
And also talking about building and writing books that you want to write versus staying in your lane.
Mm-hmm.
And talked a lot about pen names, which was, I mean, I really enjoyed talking about that, and it really got me thinking about if I have other genres in me, in the tank, I still have this gothic fiction book that I still think about all the time.
Yeah.
And then, that's gonna come out as under the name A N Other, I guess, but, well, we shall see. So, how's your writing going, Kirk?
Oh, I tell you, I wish it was going better. I really thought that this was going to be Week of Kirk, where I actually knocked out a good number of words. Unfortunately, I do have to put a roof over my head, and so I've been working a lot. I did get my cover.
It's gorgeous, people.
It is gorgeous. I really like it. I can't wait to do a cover reveal. Not sure when that's gonna be. July-ish, maybe? I don't know. We'll see. So I'm super excited about it. So I did kinda do some writing adjacent stuff. I worked on formatting my book in InDesign. Um I've just, kinda been putzing around, but mostly my job has just been exhausting me, and it's been hard to actually get writing motivated. So I'll get back to that. This has happened before where it just completely saps me, and then the urge to write is gonna get too strong, and then I'm just gonna blow out like a zillion words. So
Yeah,
that's
and
that's how that works with me.
that's when I start feeling jealous of you. Right now, I can bask in feeling slightly superior to you. I had a highly productive weekend on many fronts, many of which are wedding related. By the time that you hear this, dear listeners, it will not only be my birthday, but also I will be getting ready to pack up and go to the Bay Area for my wedding.
Do I say happy birthday, or do I say happy belated birthday because this won't be out until after your birthday?
No, it comes out on my birthday. This
On
is
your
my
birthday.
birthday
Oh,
when yes.
Megan, happy birthday today.
Oh my gosh, thank you,
Allow
Kirk.
me to be the first.
Thank you. Thank you. In real time, it was also Shane's birthday yesterday, thus marking the opening of the birth anniversary, which is punctuated by the following beats. Shane's birthday on May 28th. My
Happy birthday,
birthday.
Shane.
Happy birthday, Shane. He worked on his birthday. That great Protestant work ethic.
Mhm.
Capitalism, yay. I also will be working on my birthday on June 5th. Our intermediate anniversary, the one that we have celebrated for the 15 years we have been together, is June 8th. And then wedding day on June 10th. Thus, the birth anniversary. Now it's going to be 13
Yay.
days up from 11. Very excited, did lots of things. I made bouquets, silk flower bouquets for for the female attendants, boutonnieres for Shane and his male attendant, because I guess we are gender stereotype conforming at this wedding. But the most important thing is that I wrote 3,000 words, and I am now 1.5 chapters, I think, away from being done at a break today while I was drafting a motion for summary judgment. Took a 15-minute break, and the ending of the book finally revealed itself to me in all of its twisty glory. It is gnarled and knobby, and it makes me hate everyone, which is satisfying.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, your ending
Yes.
is a banger.
Thank you. This is a novel of the Great Recession, so capitalism is the main villain, of course. It's on brand. So this week we are hopefully going to finish the author industrial complex, and we're going to start with talking a little bit about when your passion for writing becomes your job
Mhm.
as a writer, and how the tension between a deeply creative and once deeply pleasurable experience can become painful, and how it's possible, hopefully, to tap back into the joy despite the demands that are being made on your time and your psyche.
Mhm.
Thoughts?
And this is not a yes, I do have thoughts. This is not a thing that is unique to writers. When I was very young, I imagined having a career in IT, computers, things like that, like just intellectually challenged me. I loved it. And I thought, this will never get old. It did get old. I still am in IT, and quite frankly, it is not my favorite thing in the world. It's probably not in my top 100 favorite things. So I think we all hit a point where our passion is probably not something that makes us happy anymore. But with writers, it's different. So for me, IT pays the bills, right? So there's that. That there is that upside. For a lot of writers, we do find ourselves kind of wondering sometimes, "Gosh, why? Why am I doing this?" And especially, I was listening to a podcast about how they were breaking down sales of, how much can an author expect to earn, off the sale of their book, right? And, as they're breaking it down and, this they get a cut, they get a cut, they get a cut, and then, there's all kinds of things, and bookstores demand, a 55% discount and this and that. And eventually, a book that sells for 19.99, the author winds up getting, something like $2. And so there's that pressure. Like for me, I'm actually fairly decently paid for my skills, but writers, very, very skilled writers, just don't seem to be able to translate that often into, monetary things. So
That such is the plight of the artist, though.
right. Yes,
It
absolutely.
where we are expected to perform and to produce brilliance on
Mhm.
often on command
Mhm.
with very little or no remuneration, because art enriches the soul, and who can put a price on soul enrichment? Well, that's a load of shit, honestly.
Right.
I mean, there are many things to criticize about, early Renaissance Florence, coming out of left field.
Okay, did
Um,
not see that coming, but okay.
but the patron artist system that existed during that time
Mhm.
made some, not all, but made some artists able to have, what we would think of now as, middle class or, wealthy kind of lifestyles, right? Still for the few, but these were people, we could think about like the Jeff Bezoses of, Cinquecento Florence. They're taking their vast amounts of money and supporting the arts,
Sure.
and because because it makes them look less shitty. "Bezos, I'm listening. Come on, give me some money. And stop sending your money up to be blown up. You could take some of that money and spread it around to writers, and we'd all think you were a lot groovier than we think you are."
Yeah, I was actually, kinda joking with my kids the other day. What one of them mentioned that there was it's like this property that is, it's hell themed, and so it's I don't know, it's being sold for like $600,000 and everything about it is it's like a little place you go to and it's hell themed. So like the ice cream is like, I don't know, ice cream, I guess. And I was saying, if I was a billionaire, this is the kind of bullshit that I would spend my money on, is I would buy this hell place and I would just, like, run it until I got bored with it, and then I would be on to the next stupid thing.
Mhm.
Like, that's what billionaire Kirk Rafferty would do. So I never understand why these billionaires are, just completely soulless assholes and do whatever they can, but they have so much money and they're still trying to get every single nickel. I think at some point of wealth for me, and it wouldn't be much wealth, believe me, it wouldn't even have to be in the billions. I'd just start doing stupid shit because I could. Uh,
Well, you should.
so to bring us kind of to circle us back around to like your Renaissance comparison, I think that it could also be said that for every Leonardo, there were probably 1,000 starving artists, right, in that same period, and likewise every Kirk and Meagan, who are not only not making money but spending money on their passion. There's for every thousand of us, there's also there's a Stephen King
Yeah.
who wasn't, I guess, not so much he didn't have a patron, he just had a lot of readers.
Yeah.
I don't know what my point was on that.
I don't it's okay. It's a safe space. So, but I have some questions for you.
Okay.
So, I not last weekend, but the weekend before when I was not reading because I was on vacation and I kind of was thinking about it, suddenly kinda thought, like, "I'm really fucking sick of writing this book. I'm really sick of
Mhm,
writing this book.
mhm,
I am so close, but I don't feel it anymore, but I have so much time sunk into this stupid book.
mhm,
I've
mhm,
got people who wanna be beta readers. I don't even have a book. Like, I felt like this external pressure to produce. I felt an internal pressure, the one I feel all the time, which is the contrarian going, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you." And then also this feeling like I can't let myself down. I have to do it. I have to perform. I have to do it. How can I get it back? Well, the answer is that there is no neat and tidy answer as far as I can tell. It's just like when the muse strikes, right? Like I did today. I suddenly was like, "Oh yeah," even though I've written 3,000 words, those were a slog. They were really hard. But yes,
yeah,
today I was like, "Damn, I am ready." I don't get that a lot. I am not a fast writer. I am a slow writer. I get and I am envious of people who can write quickly. I don't think that they're not doing a good job or half-assing it. I have so much envy inside of me that
mhm,
I can't turn the spigot on like they can. And it's like, is it because I'm doing so much professional writing in the week that I am tapped
yeah,
out by the end of the week? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how people do it. I don't necessarily think that people have more time than me. It's me, I'm the
right,
problem.
right.
So, how do
Yeah,
you so my question for you is, how do you balance these internal and external expectations with the reality of what you can produce?
yeah, I'm even going through that right now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the episode. Uh, sometimes like this week for me, there is no balance. That there just is not. And I think that you're gonna make yourself crazy if you don't acknowledge that, yeah, sometimes that's just how it's gonna be. Now, having said that, that could easily turn into an excuse. And
Mhm.
so you need to be careful about, when there really is just nothing you can do about it and when you're just making excuses. Because, writers are also prone, we're like really good at excuses.
Oh, yeah.
And so, if you start telling yourself, well, it was a rough week, but then you look back and, oh, I spent part of the day scrolling Reddit. I did some Instagram
Mhm.
posts, this and that. Then, was
Yeah.
it such a tough week?
I convinced myself that reading 3 chapters of Middlemarch was sort of rating adjacent. I'm like, "Oh, yeah, they talk about Middlemarch in the book."
Yeah.
Well, that's already passed. You have no excuse, Megan. Yeah, it's hard. You know, the advice that we often get is just keep writing, which is, as we've talked about before, sometimes shit advice because what comes out can sometimes really dispirit you.
Yeah.
I think you've got a really good attitude for the weeks that it's just not happening.
Mhm.
Just letting it go. Just
Yeah,
letting it go.
and that's what I have to do. I mean, I because I am a person who tends to kinda fixate on failure.
Mm,
So I've come to realize that, and I've come to recognize when it's happening. So when I say that, look, I'm just gonna have to accept it's been a tough week. Like that doesn't come easy for me, but
mhm,
it does, and
mhm.
I think that's as a writer, that's just how we have to deal with it.
For most of us, these expectations are self-imposed. There are no real consequences, especially for people like you and me who are at the beginning, who
Mhm.
are currently unpublished. Most of the expectations that we have are ones that we place on ourselves.
Mhm.
And,
Mhm.
you know, I can be very, very tough with myself. I have told you, and perhaps this is the time to introduce to the world about my wonderful game, Kirk.
Yes.
My wonderful game. So I have a wonderful game that I came up with in my senior year of college when I was working in the library, actually, in manuscripts and archives. And one of the jobs that I had was I was creating a searchable database of all of the alumni magazines dating back to the 19th century
Mhm.
for my university. And it had started out as a newspaper, and these were all on microfiche. This is how old things are. This is how old I am. By the time you are hearing this, I will be even older. So I had a big microfiche machine. I had reels. I also had this very old computer. Was not very old at the time. With a database program that I had to input things, you know, the date, the volume, blah, blah, blah. This was tedious work. It was a work study job. It was tedious work, which sometimes suited me and sometimes didn't. So I came up with a game to get myself through this tedious work. It is called Oppressed Socialist Worker.
Okay, I thought it was called drinking, but okay.
It's
That
it's
was
it
my guess, but
That was another game that I played a lot in college, but this one was called Oppressed Socialist Worker, and I still play this game to this day, and I've taught it to many other people who find it very useful. So, there are 2 modes to Oppressed Socialist Worker. The first is, I am an oppressed socialist worker. The boot of the state is upon my neck, and I must work as hard as possible, as quickly, efficiently, and accurately as possible. Mode 1. Mode 2. I am an oppressed socialist worker. Fuck the state. I'm a do what I want. Both of these are satisfying modes. Choose the one that fits your mood. You will find that they are both satisfactory. So, oppressed socialist worker helps me sometimes when I am not feeling in the mood to write at
uh-huh.
all,
Uh-huh.
but I'm just like, I promised myself that I would write X number of words this weekend. So I am going to go into mode 1 and I am going to pump out all of those words. Now,
Mhm.
let's say
You
it
gotta
was
put potatoes on your family's plate.
do you potatoes, borscht, all very important. So, I tried to hit my goal. I got very close. Very, very close. As I got close to the goal, I slipped into mode 2 and decided that I didn't care because close enough was good enough. These were both satisfactory to me. I would say whatever the mode is that you choose, as long as you just continue writing at some point or another, it's all good. You can also walk away from shit. Just like we DNF books, it's like DNF writing a friggin' book.
I have so many partially finished stories, short stories, novels, whatever, that I did just walk away from. Probably a lot of us have those. But
Yeah.
I mean, I've got 40,000 words into a work that I was passionate
Oh,
about
yeah.
that will never see the light of day. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got I think 20,000 words into my historical romantic fiction. Not a romance, as I discovered as I was writing it, because I can't write romance. Probably never gonna do anything with it. But the gothic fiction idea that I have came out of that one, and I have written one chapter of that one. I thought it was tolerably good. So
I have a historical fiction that I was absolutely in love with. I still think of it extremely fondly. It probably will not ever be finished, and that makes me sad, but,
everyone needs to give themselves a little grace.
mhm, mhm.
Especially those of us who are like us at the beginning. And we don't the timescales that we create are our own. There is enough misery in life. Don't create misery for yourselves, especially in something as joyful as writing. There are many times when writing does not feel joyful. It feels painful, like physically painful. But and you can walk away. You can always we've said it so many times. You can always walk away from so many things. Walk away from social media. I walked away from Facebook and didn't look back. Like no
Yeah,
regrets.
yeah.
You can walk away from a book that you hate or that you aren't feeling anymore or isn't serving your purpose or what you believe your career is going to be, and you can be like, when I'm ready to debut as a and other, then I'll bring it out. It's all okay, but once you are not at the beginning of your career, there are going to be demands on you from your audiences to produce and keep producing, and we see it all the time on social media, like, "Where's the next book in the series?" Like, "Why can't we have another one of X?" The people who write fan fiction know this better, I think, than anybody else.
Sure, sure.
And it's like, you have to take care of yourself, number 1. Your career is important, but your sanity is even more important.
Mhm, mhm.
So,
And your physical health. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, because you can really, hurt yourself by being too, too obsessive or
yeah.
what have you. Yeah.
The annals of literature are filled with writers who burnt out, drank themselves to death, or, died of a drug overdose. Sorry to get all bleak here, but, you know, you know, put the bad in bad lit friends, but at the end of the day, take care of yourself. It's there are your readers probably care about your words more than you, which is flattering, but also kinda terrifying.
Mhm.
So just take care of yourself, which kind of brings us a little bit to your next point, which is about public versus private personas
Yeah.
and the demands of the public on you as a human being.
How much of yourself are you expected to have out there?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question.
Because, so many of us are very private people. A lot of us are introverts, and even the extroverts out there, sometimes it's a lot. And, you find yourself saying, "Oh my God, I have to put myself out there." Okay. And you get yourself a little bit out there, and then it just kind of starts cascading. And pretty soon, I don't know about you, but I'm old enough now, to where if I wind up at a dinner party somewhere, as soon as I walk in the door, I'm looking at my watch, right?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
I don't go to a lot of dinner parties, by the way. I don't know why I said dinner party, but wherever the DMV.
Well, you've got an excuse for that, but I I've seen on T-shirts, "I'm sorry, I can't go, I'm an indoor cat." That's kind
Oh
of
yeah,
how I feel all the
yeah,
time.
exactly.
I am an introvert who kind of plays being an extrovert, sufficiently well for short periods of time that people are not aware of the fact that I am introverted, and it's taking a lot out of me to be this person.
And it is funny that as introverts, we are drawn to a very introverted activity, writing, because we do it by ourselves. But then we want to share that very private thing with the world. We want the world to see it, but we don't want them to we don't want them to see us.
No, no, no.
We
No
want them to
touch.
see my work.
No, no, no,
Right?
no touch, no look.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely, I am in a hermetically sealed, chamber, and there's my book. Like,
Mhm.
just don't look at me, don't look at me, no pictures. It's really hard. I will say that simply by doing this podcast, I have had to put more of myself out into the world than I've ever done before. This has been hard, deeply enjoyable, but
Mhm.
still difficult. In that I need to share the some more difficult parts of the struggles that I have as a person and but really mostly as a writer. Just to have that vulnerability and to trust people I will never meet in my life, to hear these stories
Yeah,
that I'm
yeah,
talking about, it's really hard. If you are somebody who's not interested in getting consumed, this is a very delicate balance, I think.
yeah. And it would be one thing if it was, like, the occasional book signing or something, and let me be very clear, I don't know what that feels like because 'cause I've never been at a book signing.
You will soon.
I hope so. But it's not just the odd book signing anymore. It's, again, I'm gonna say it, social media. This seems to crop up in every single episode we do, probably every other minute. Um, Social media is just another level of intrusiveness into our lives because we either feel the pressure or are pressured to put some kind of persona out there.
Mhm,
And if you're smart, you don't put all of yourself out there. And if you're even smarter, you sort of like invent this little persona that you want everyone to see to
mhm.
kind of protect yourself, right?
Yeah,
But still, it pulls you in ways that just don't feel natural to be pulled in.
absolutely. I would say I'm more myself when you and I talk on this show
Mhm.
than I am online. I have more, I think, vulnerability here than I do online.
Sure.
In online spaces, social media in particular, it is you know, positivity factory where you should always be performing something that is uplifting or funny or, thoughtful or, whatever. It's not like I had kind of a shit weekend and nothing came out of me because then, oh, you're a Debbie Downer and nobody wants to hear it because they're also struggling with these things. Sometimes you can phrase these things in ways that do feel relatable and do kind of help community come together, but more often things come off, or you can, even if it's just your own perception of it, that you're coming off as whining. And,
Mhm.
nobody likes a whiner.
Mhm.
So it can be hard, and I look at established authors, maybe not the biggest names, but, people who are up and coming, and they always look so poised, even when they're talking about their messiness and, "Oh, I had a terrible day because XXX." They've got a beautiful, mood board, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm so
We have
glad
thoughts on on mood
we're
boards.
coming up to them, but, like, I how did you do that? Like, how can you bring it like, when you are not feeling good, why do you have to perform something pretty when you feel like ass? When I feel like ass, it's like, ugh, I wanna throw things at the wall, I wanna eat a giant vat of spaghetti, wanna be miserable and, like, watch Clueless on repeat. Like, I
Mhm.
don't want to be a pretty girl with pretty images, talking in pretty prose about my misery. I want to be messy, and the messiness, frankly, is better kept inside. For me. For me, it's
Right.
good
Right.
because people suck on the internet. Kirk and I both know this from experience that when you give the slightest bit of weakness away, there's always going to be some asshole in your dark moment to poke at you, and it's going to feel shit. So there is this pressure to perform positivity because it feeds your brand, but also perform positivity because it's a shield. And this is, a plea. This is why you need writer friends that you can talk to outside of, public online spaces. You need private online spaces, you need telephone calls, you need texts.
Yeah.
You need Zooms because you need an off-ramp for all of the toxic bullshit that you are taking on all the time. You and I, in our BLF After Dark segment before we started, talked about, like, just what the pressure is to behave online. It's this intense peer pressure to play nice,
Mhm. Mhm.
even when you don't want to play nice. And the only people who are given the grace to not play nice are people who have cultural capital. And it doesn't even need to be a lot of it, but they need to have some. So this is why, incredibly well-known authors can say problematic shit and kind of skate on by. I'm not talking about like J.K. Rowling levels of problematic shit. I'm
That
just
yeah,
talking
that's a
about,
whole different level.
yeah, just kind of minor transgressions, and they'll be okay. But for a lot of us, that's it. You got to be good or else,
Well,
because
and
the
that's,
internet never forgets.
that's another kind of fear discovered, right? Is the fear that you're going to be misunderstood, and basically, and your career is over before it ever started. You're
Mhm.
gonna say something that, might be a little problematic, and you probably didn't even mean it to be problematic, and that's it. So
That's
there's
it.
always that kind of fear in the background. Now, if you go and you read my thread posts, because I'm very nice on Blue Sky, I'm not so nice on Threads, so you may look at my Threads posts and go, "What the hell are you talking about? Like, you are inviting this stuff, Kirk."
I love it.
Still, the thought really is always on my mind, because you know what you're not hearing? My real unfiltered thoughts, like
You don't wanna know the
those stay off social media. Yeah.
that again, BLF after dark, behind the Patreon paywall,
Yeah,
mm,
29.95 gets you.
gets you something on the borderline of cancelable, but not really.
Yeah,
If you wanna pay $6,500, on the other hand, maybe you'll get,
that's an
you know,
oddly specific number, but
I
yeah, sure.
I don't know I don't know where that came from, but, it's yeah, you can get the, yeah, Kirk Rafferty, his real opinion about certain people who
That's
are
right.
online.
Pay me $6,500, you get to ask me anything, and I will answer that one question completely truthfully.
Wow, that's a deal.
Yeah,
People, that's a
yeah.
deal.
If I knew what my Venmo was, I would give it out right now, and
I don't know what mine is, but I know that my, like, my user picture is a box of Velveeta shells and cheese.
Okay, well,
So, if you come across that, that's me, you can always send me money. So,
I too have avatar pictures from, those types of eras in my life, yes.
so how do you live the dream while you're also living in the reality of the suck? So, we're all getting rejected all the time at every stage. We're getting rejected by agents. We're getting rejected by editors. We're getting rejected by readers. We're getting rejected by ARC readers. We're getting rejected, by our peers.
Mhm.
We spend so much time waiting. This is not a game for people who want things to happen quickly. Even when you're doing it yourself and you write really quickly, there's still all the time that you have to put into, if you're gonna self-publish, to make your book look like a book, all
Mhm.
of the work, all of the money, then you have to do all of the promotional shit. This is where we start bitching about mood boards, and there's actually been a lot of talk I've seen recently online about, and I've really been encouraged to see it because I haven't seen as much of it recently until recently. How do you justify to yourself internally, let's say, promoting a product that doesn't exist yet? There has been some pushback that I have seen amongst writers saying it doesn't feel genuine. It feels really weird.
Mhm.
And I have seen agents commenting, like, essentially, "It's the nature of the beast, and you just need to do it." Well, why? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is where I bring in, again, BLF After Dark, 19.99 a month, 29.95 a month. These are inflationary times. We were talking about how trends online have basically made certain aspects of promoting yourself canon. Like, you can't do it. You can't be a writer without mood boards. Now, I love me a mood board, don't get me wrong. I haven't felt the desire to make one in the past 6 months, though. I've been like, "You know what? Screw it. I need to focus on writing my stupid book." I haven't done a pitch event in a while because they're most of them are hype events now, which I love because I get to meet writers, but I can also do that, not by pitching, but by interacting with people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "I can't do this. I don't have it in me. I am not an Instagram person. I don't do images terribly well. I write. Sorry."
The day of the, pitch event, I feel has passed. Not
Mhm.
completely, it's, but I think it is a lingering slow death right now. Back in the day on Twitter, the pitch contests were the great thing about them was that if you were a literary agent, you were probably on Twitter. And so these pitch contests, many of them participated because that's where they were. And then, the man-child came and bought the company, and a lot of us fled, a lot of us stayed. I didn't stay, you didn't stay, but a lot of people did stay, but a lot of people fled, and so the community is no longer kind of focused
No,
into
there's a
this
diaspora.
singularity, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
and so when Blue Sky has a pitch event, it's amazing when an actual agent does a like, right? Because they're not there, and,
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
it's not
a lot of
happening.
them are on threads, but even but, the algorithm seems to kind of bury them now. The really bad thing about threads is you can only so they don't have hashtags, they have topics, right? And so, you can post something with the topic, but that doesn't guarantee that it's gonna be seen. And so the algorithm is also very unfriendly towards pitch events.
Yeah.
And so, I know that some of them have moved to Reddit, but not everybody's on Reddit.
A lot of stuff is on Instagram now.
Yeah,
Look, I am on Instagram to like other people's crap.
yeah.
I am not.
I can't do images.
I can't do it. Look, I can take nice pictures, but I'm not taking nice pictures I can do a composition of that relate to my books.
I have a lot of
I'm
cute
sorry.
doggy pictures. Yeah, I have
I
no book pictures.
I no, I don't. I when I see things, I collect them. But it's not that often that like, I bring up my Photos app, what do I have? What are my pictures? My pictures are the silk flower bouquets I made, some bibimbap Shane made, lots of stuff from Reunion, and I don't like to share too many images of myself online. I am shit at mood, like, creating mood. You know who's really fucking good at it? Anne. Anne is so good at doing these things. Anne,
Yeah,
I
she
know you're
really is.
listening. You are so good at it. You are so good. I hate you.
We hate
You're
you
s
so
We
much.
hate
No,
you.
we
We
don't.
love
We
you. We
don't.
hate you. You do these wonderful, moody, things with the beautiful text and music and
Seriously, go follow Anne on
yes, yeah, A.E. Wells,
Instagram.
writer.
Her
She's so good.
Yeah, she and, her info is on our 2 episodes ago. If
We'll
you look
put
in
it
the
in
show notes.
we'll put in the
Yeah,
show notes
we'll put
again
it in the show
because
notes again. Yeah, let's
she's
do that.
she's not only an amazing writer and an amazing human being, she also knows how to do a fucking Instagram slide
Yeah,
deck.
she's so amazing and we
God
hate her.
damn it.
We don't hate, we love her.
We love you, Anne. We do. I'm also deeply envious of you.
We really are.
Yeah, and but again, it's like you feel like you've got this beautiful dream, this dream of a
Mhm.
book, my dream baby book, and it often feels like the dream hates you more than you love it. It's like getting kicked in the teeth again and again and again. And I do want to end everything on a less bleak note, but it is very easy to slip into cynicism.
Sure, yeah.
And I've felt it, you have felt it. We have felt it about looking at other people succeeding that we didn't think were necessarily, quote unquote deserving. Um
Mhm.
that is a way to send yourself bananas.
Yeah,
Just, feel it, let it go.
yeah. Feel it, own it, like, throw something inexpensive at a wall if you have to, but
Yeah.
eventually, yeah, let it go
Yeah.
and move on because this is not a competition, and that is it sounds trite because you see this all the time, but
Yeah.
it is not trite. It's a survival mechanism.
I totally agree, and I will tell you that I saw speaking of Instagram and inspirational posts, I saw a really good one, this evening before we started, where a writer said, "You know, I'm posting here, and I don't always get a lot of engagement, but I do make a point of liking other people's posts and trying to reach out to other people when I think they are doing a good job, and I'm not
Mhm.
necessarily asking you to do that here and engage with me that way. But I want you to see me not as your competitor, but as your peer. This is not a zero sum game. We're all running on our own tracks. We need to take care of each other. We are a community.
Yeah.
And if you liked what I had to say, give me a like. Or if not, you can pass on by. I gave her a like because it made me kind of stop and think about how I consume writerly social media and how sometimes I consume it. I hate consume it because I want to feel righteous indignation. This writer and I if I can find this post again, I will link it in the show notes. I wish I'd thought to save it. Made me stop and check myself and reminded me that I'm in it to write a book. In it to meet cool people. I'm in it to share something I have to say. I'm not in it to, become the next Margaret Atwood. But this writer made me stop and think that we can connect with each other as writers. We can connect with our readers. We can connect with each other in ways that are meaningful and don't feel like the Hunger Games. Just because the script is written this way right now doesn't mean that it always was or that it always shall be. We can do it ourselves.
Huzzah. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I told you we'd end on a positive note.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
I like that.
So let's break it all down again by talking about some hot goss.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. So, QueryTracker. Mm. Known, loved, and hated, yes, by many querying authors. If we have talked about it before, but essentially
Mhm,
it is a online platform that allows writers who are seeking agent representation to query those agents using a generally their forms instead of sending emails or using an agency specific form on their website, right?
mhm.
It has a number of tracking features that drive people insane who are, always looking to see where if their book is still being considered after weeks and weeks and weeks. There are other people who forget that they query and just, float around in the ether like me. Again, I am defective. It's been discussed many times. Um, but one of the underutilized parts of QueryTracker is the section that is devoted to authors talking about how they got their agent using QueryTracker.
Mhm.
There are
Interviews. Mhm.
little interviews, little stock questions. I've read some of them before. They're interesting, but again, we're also individual. I don't know that I've actually learned anything from them. They're just kind of like interesting little pieces, slice of life stuff.
One of the best part of those little interview questions are a lot of times they will share their query letter that
Yes.
got them an agent. And I
Yes.
think sometimes you look at those query letters and you scratch your head, but a lot of times, you look at them and you go, "Oh, yeah, okay, this is firing on all
Yeah.
cylinders." So,
Yeah. God, I hate it when I see that, and then I'm like, "Oh god,"
my query letter
my query
sucks.
letter sucks. This query letter that Kirk helped me edit. Kirk edited my query letter. It's not a bad one. I've gotten how many? 5, 6 full requests off of it,
Yeah,
so it
it was a
must
great one, and then I got a hold of it, yeah, and
No,
now
my it's dude, there's a reason why the final one is, like, final V10. Okay. So today, how hot the goss is, in several different places, including a private chat that Kirk and I are in. And also on Reddit, there was shared information. I am using the passive voice on purpose because I do not want to reveal names here, about an author, a querying author who landed his first agent, who had a little interview, and he bragged about using Google's Gemini AI to help write his book. Now,
Mhm.
there is a little bit of nuance to this before I get into the reaction. So, when I
Burn him!
strap him to the pole and light the, kindling. So, the little bit of nuance that there exists here is that he did use Google's Gemini, which is in many cases, whether we like it or not, if you use Chrome, Gemini is bundled into your search experience. You have to learn how to scroll by it. You can't block it. It's there. He used Gemini to research agents that he should query. Like,
Mhm, mhm.
"Hey, Google, who should I" what I'm probably gonna set off everybody's, like, Google search assistant, sorry, "Hey, Google, which agents should I query?" And he got a list. Okay, that's using AI, but it's not great. I was like, "Well, why is this guy getting burned at the stake?" Well, then I read down to the end of it. Kirk, what happened?
Yeah, so I guess he was, also was using Gemini to edit.
Mhm.
Um, and that's so okay, so you use an AI to say what agents should I query. Now, so first of all, you are destroying the planet,
Yes.
and that's not a good thing. But listen, I'm not gonna burn you at the stake for something like this. I mean, I don't like it. I think there's even better ways to research an agent, quite
Mhm.
frankly, but okay. So, researching an agent, with an AI, it's at least not writing your book, and so
Yeah.
there's the nuance right there. You're not using it to write your book, you're using it as a tool to help you, I still don't like it, but it is, it's magnitudes better than saying, "Hey, Claude, write me a, cozy mystery."
Yeah.
But the actual editing, is where I do have a problem, and I guess it really depends because I didn't actually I have so I told you I, like, literally got off of work about 15 minutes before we started this podcast.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a chance to look into this, but I it's hard to say how much editing he did, because he doesn't go into a lot
We
of.
have no idea. We do
Right.
not know. Yeah.
And so, if you use Grammarly, you are technically editing with AI. Like if you accept a change, right? You are technically editing with AI. Now, I don't think many of us here would excoriate you for that, unless there are apparently, maybe it's not Grammarly, maybe it's what's the other one?
Pro writing aid or
Pro Writing Aid. I think Pro
yeah.
Writing Aid is the one where you can just like change entire
Oh, yeah.
parts of your book, right? And that's not
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So, assistive I think is generally accepted, but if he's feeding his manuscript into Gemini and saying, "Hey Gemini, like, make get rid of all my adverbs or do whatever," like that's not good.
Or yeah, or, "Hey, Gemini, show me all the time, all the instances of this really weird word that I know is, like, one of my weird crutch words," right?
Mhm.
You
Well,
you
the
and yeah,
problem
yeah,
is that
that's
Gemini and the other LLMs aren't just gonna stop there, and
no.
that's the thing. They are going to rewrite.
Yeah, whereas something like, autocrit and
Mhm.
you put it in and you're like, "Show me all of the places where
Yeah,
I use the word hot dog," or,
you
phrase
get a
hot
list.
dog.
Yeah.
You get a list. It shows you where you use hot dog all the time. I mean, maybe hot dog is your crutch word, I don't know. But,
And here's what drives me crazy though is we already have tools that do this. If
mhm,
you're using Microsoft Word, it's Command F and just
yes.
search search and replace. Like I don't know. This is the one of the many things that drives me crazy about AI usage is we already have many of these tools. And
Mhm.
so, there are people going without drinking water because data centers are taking it all up and they're using ChatGPT as a search and replace tool.
While they're also, generating cinematic movies
Yes.
about the minions, storming the
Uh-huh.
gates in,
Uh-huh.
like, I don't know, Constantinople or something. It is not. Yes, okay, there are d distinct differences, I think, between assistive AI and generative AI,
Mhm.
and also the types of AI that are used in, professional settings, like, scientific settings,
Yeah.
industrial settings.
I've said it before, I want AI to cure cancer. I don't want it to write my books.
Exactly. And as we were talking about before, there is a particular deadness to AI written and even books that have been massaged by AI that sometimes you can feel it
Just
looks like
sucks the
human. It
soul
looks
out. Yeah.
mostly human, but there's something dead behind the
Mhm.
eyes about
Mhm.
it. And it's thrown into sharper relief when you see the bits that you are like, "That is definitely that feels human."
Mhm.
To see it rubbing up against something that has been changed by AI, there is a tonal and mood difference.
Sure.
It's not
Well, and that
consistent.
difference is that the AI will go out of its way to try to do metaphors that are just a little bit off. They have similes that are just a little bit weird.
Yeah.
The sunset was a velvety glove
Oh, it
across
loves
the
it. Yeah,
landscape,
it
right?
loves
Like
velvet.
like
The sun rolled out and amber, waves of gray. No, that's not it. But it is something, just something dull. Like it
it just
feels
always gets it a little bit off
almost.
and
I always think of the phrase uncanny valley
mhm, mhm.
because
This is the literary version of
yeah,
that, yeah.
it's so close to the real thing without being the real thing. It's like I was gonna say it's like Coke Zero and Coke, but Imma tell you, I really prefer Coke Zero taste of Coke Zero to Coke. So
Okay, go home, you're
so
drunk.
I I I could be. Um, but no,
We are
it's like
done, Megan.
no,
We are no longer friends.
it's okay, here's a better one. Okay. It's like, Lay's potato chips and the Lay's Wow potato chips with Olestra, which gave you anal leakage.
Oh my god, I
Um,
was just about to say yes, Olestra.
Olestra, okay. So if you were alive in a period of time where Olestra potato chips were a thing, and you decided to try some, they tasted close to fried regular fried in canola oil or whatever, but not quite, but pretty close. Kind of satisfying, but then it gave you well, not necessarily, but gave a lot of people the squits. AI writing, kinda like Olestra. You're gonna feel like your tummy is rumbling and something's not quite right after you consume a whole bunch of it. It feels strange. It feels like trying to hug, um, a a robot with, like, a fairly thick layer of rubber around it, It's, like, kinda
Yeah,
close, but not
yeah.
really, and cold, 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 cold.
Well, and here's what we were talking about before the show too, is that there are some people who use AI as such a large part of their lives that they don't see it.
Mhm.
If they don't see it anymore or they never saw it in the first place, they don't see how bad it looks. I see, we've talked about this before too. You can spot an Instagram post a mile away where the person made it with AI, and you're like, "Did this person just not think that we don't see this?" Like, how embarrassing I have secondhand embarrassment for them when
Mhm.
I see these posts. And some of these posters, like, every time they post, it's obvious. And you just wonder, like, do they not see it or do they not care? And I think they don't
Yeah.
see it.
I agree with you. It feels like the emperor's new clothes, right? It's
Yeah.
just like after a while, the people stop seeing that they are completely, they're completely naked or that they're draped in AI clothes. And
Mhm.
the people around them who have been, kind of conditioned after a while, because you and I have seen it, people in comments not picking up, not pushing back, not saying anything or thinking that it's absolutely brilliant, they
And y
stop being able to see it, or they stop wanting to comment on it because, "Oh, nobody else is saying it, so maybe it's me,
yeah,
maybe I'm the problem."
yeah. And if you are an author or if you are in the publishing industry and you are doing this, you are doing your career a disservice. You just, like, stop doing it. Use your own words. You're a writer, for God's sake.
Yeah,
Stop doing that.
the words may not always come, but they're inside of you, right?
Yeah,
I'm
that's
I'm
beautiful, Megan.
"Oh, thank you." Maybe I am drunk. Um, so, as we come to the end of this totally planned
Yes,
three-part
that's all I have to say about that.
thing that we've had so
Over
many
the
so many.
space of 3 hours.
Yeah. Look, first of all, thank you for coming along with us on this extremely well-paced ride.
Convoluted, yes.
Yeah, and one of the comments that we have had recently from a listener is that while we talk about some difficult stuff on this show, kind of big emotions for writers on this show, we also kind of don't get dragged down by it. We don't dwell in it. We try to find
Yeah,
something
yeah,
positive, and I really hope that that's something that you feel coming out of this is that, yeah, all of these are really big tensions and they make life for writers hard, but it doesn't mean that we have to capitulate. We are still our own good selves, full of good words, some of them better than
absolutely.
others, some of them bigger than others.
We know
But
all the good words.
I'm still working on it. So, but I did enjoy your what you envisioned first as a tiny outline has
I
borne
know.
beautiful, beautiful flowers. And you
We
are the
done.
master of your fate. You are the captain of your soul. Uh, so next time we record, I will be recording on my birthday, which is, this is how much I love all of you. I give up my birthday. I volunteer as tribute. And we are going to talk about writing dialogue, which I have actually been writing a lot of dialogue recently. So it is on my mind.
Yeah,
And I have been told I write quite good dialogue. So I will be happy to share all of my not totally made up tips and tricks for writing dialogue.
excellent. Yeah, I always
And
like it when I learn something.
I'm going to try I'm going to take a leaf out of Anne's book and, try to be, give something instructive as opposed to just, general bitchery, which, I excel at, let's be honest. But in the meantime, you can find us. We're Badlit Friends everywhere on all the socials, on Blue Sky, we're on Instagram, which I have completely dragged through the mud today. We are on Threads, which, God, good God. I'm just going to pause here for one moment and just talk about look, if you are on Threads, go look up the Hot Chef little brouhaha that is happening. This is actually about a writer, Katie Bogan, who has been monetizing her heartbreak by encouraging her slathering minion followers and acolytes to pay $10 to a Patreon to get the story of her breakup. Some, wonderful human being, of course, paid $10 and put it up on the internet and now is being threatened with a lawsuit. I don't care. I scream capped that shit because I knew it was coming down. And I read it and it was not good, which made me feel good because I'm a bitch. And it didn't say very much about the breakup at all. And now she is using this money to go live the high life in Europe this summer to get over her heartbreak. And this is, look, if you ever thought, what would it be like if Taylor Swift was an indie author with less talent than Taylor Swift?
So, not Taylor Swift.
Not Taylor Swift, but whose followers are as rabid as Swifties. This is a very deep rabbit hole. If you don't have plans for the weekend, have fun. Look for Hot Chef. I might even put a link. She's going to block me because she actively looks for all references to herself. Hi, Katie. My name is Meagan. I am an unpublished writer. I think that you are a very good professional writer. I am also from Connecticut, like you. You say you're from rural New England. I know where Waterbury is. It's not rural.
And like and subscribe, please.
Our YouTube metrics are actually really great. Thank you so much. We are showing up apparently on the sidebar and lots of things. We are getting lots of Spotify plays. Please, please, please comment. Please subscribe on YouTube and Spotify. Also on Apple Podcasts. Review. All of these things help us. And look, obviously are not doing this for the money, like, all writers. We're doing it because we think it's kind of cool. And we love it when we hear back from you that you think it's kind of cool too. Also, you can
We
tell
do.
us we suck. That is okay too. We are writers. We're
Yes.
used to it.
Yes. We thrive on your hate.
We bask in it. Like Cleopatra in Ass's Milk, we bask in your hate. But love is better. So until next time, we'll see you then.
Bye.